The government in Iraq has today declared victory over ISIS in that country. Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi said Iraqi forces, which have long been supported by Shiite militias controlled by neighboring Iran, now fully control the Iraqi-Syrian border.
We
have achieved great victories against Daesh today. I would like today to announce the good news to all Iraqis. During the last hours, our forces have completed the liberation of Nineveh Island, Anbar, and are in full control of the Syrian-Iraqi border.
So, does that mean that the threat from the terrorist group, which once ruled over 8 million people, is gone? Here with answers on that and other global issues is Fox News foreign policy analyst Kiron Skinner, a professor of international relations at Carnegie Mellon University, research fellow at the Hoover Institution, and longtime friend. Kiron, welcome. What threat, if any, do you see ISIS posing going forward inside or perhaps beyond Iraq and Syria?
That's a big question because although ISIS has been defeated largely in Iraq, there are remnants of ISIS that still exist. They've just moved into various communities and they're hiding out. They aren't gone. They will probably reemerge with kind of guerrilla insurgent tactics in that country. We know that they are working alongside the Taliban in Afghanistan. And we also know that they have inspired radicalism throughout the African continent, in both West Africa and North Africa in particular. So they're not gone. But what's important about Iraq is that the untold story of 2017 is that General Mattis, with support of President Trump, has put forth a new military strategy for dealing with the global war on terror, a term, James, that you know we could not use officially during the Obama administration. That strategy has entailed not abandoning rules of engagement in the global war on terror, but in fact enhancing them by making them more precise, increasing the personnel and commitment to the coalition civilian assessment teams to watch over unintended death and injury. We've actually had a major shift in U.S. strategy by, one, declaring the war and by having a different military approach.
And of course, we still have a significant number of U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Professor Skinner, I want to turn your attention to Europe and specifically relations with our old Cold War adversary, Russia. Our viewers might imagine the greatest irritant in those relations is that conclusion by our U.S. intelligence agencies that Russia meddled in the 2016 election, which of course remains the subject of much investigation in Washington. But Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, speaking in Vienna this week, cited another issue entirely.
In Syria, we can have differences in other areas, but when one country invades another, that is a difference that is hard to look past or to reconcile. And we've made this clear to Russia from the very beginning that we must address Ukraine. It stands as the single most difficult obstacle to us renormalizing a relationship with Russia, which we badly would like to do.
Kiron Skinner, do you see any scenario in which Russia leaves Crimea and withdraws its proxy forces from eastern Ukraine, or should President Trump and Secretary Tillerson accept as a practical matter that Russia is in those spaces to stay?
I don't know if anyone has the answer to that hard question, but I do agree with the Secretary of State. Ukraine is a major source of tension in not just U.S.-Russia relations, but U.S.-Russia relations with the West more broadly, because it continues to arm and meddle against, with those forces against the Ukrainian government. And this is not behavior that is consistent with what other great powers are doing, and it destabilizes much of Europe. But there are other areas that the Secretary did not mention that I think are important as major sources of tension between the West and Russia. For example, its non-compliance with the INF Treaty.
We're almost out of time, I regret to say, but very quickly, because you are a professor, what grade at the close of his first year in office would you give President Trump on foreign policy?
Well, I probably would give him an A-. And I say that because I think he's been a surprise on the foreign policy scene in the world. But I would like, in order for him to get an A+, I'd like to hear him articulate over and over again with a strong echo chamber the America First policy as it relates to the rest of the world.
All right. Fox News foreign policy analyst Kiron Skinner, our thanks for your making time for us on a snowy Saturday.
Thank you.